Cold War innovations, the things we still use today, like Halo Vision. Many of the things that we use today were invented during the Cold War to attack, protect against, or spy on the USSR. Interstates and highways were made so that we could evacuate a city fast in an emergency, like if we were getting bombed by the USSR. Street signs were also invented so you could know where you were going. Street signs were originally brown, but they changed it to green so it reflected more and contrasted better with the white letters. The Internet was invented during the Cold War so that scientists could communicate their findings with other scientists across the U.S. It got bigger as more people had access to it. Soon it was more than just scientists who were allowed on the Internet. GPS was also invented during the Cold War. It was invented to help aim our bombs better and track our planes. Rockets were not invented during the Cold War, but they were perfected. The U.S. made many rockets to take our nuclear bombs to the USSR fast, and to shoot down their rockets and bombers too. The Titan II rocket was the biggest rocket made by the U.S. for carrying bombs. The only rocket bigger was the one that took us to the moon, the Saturn V rocket. The Titan II could fly at Mach 8, that is 8 times the speed of sound, or 6,138 miles an hour. Nuclear submarines. Nuclear submarines were used during the Cold War. These submarines were not only carrying nuclear missiles, but were powered by a nuclear reactor that only had to be refueled once every 20 years or so. In fact, there was not a single nuclear submarine refueled during the war. Planes was not invented during the Cold War, but they got a lot of upgrades. First, planes got bigger, like the biggest plane in the world, the B-52. The fastest high-flying plane in the world, the SR-71. The SR-71 could go 2,200 miles per hour and fly as high as 80,000 feet. It was used as a high-altitude reconnaissance plane. The B-52 was 159 feet long and 4 inches. It had a wingspan of 158 feet and could carry up to 70,000 pounds. One of the craziest planes that came out of the Cold War was the Chrono plane. It was a plane that flew just 5 feet off the water and was as big as a large boat. It could carry 8 tanks and go 500 miles an hour. It was very efficient and could fly for long distances without refueling. Computers. The computer was not invented during the Cold War, but it was perfected. It was made so we could make automatic, simple, or very tedious tasks, like aiming the big gun on a big ship, or accounting for the bobbing of the waves. Soon they were stabilizing rockets when they took off, and they were flying the rockets all the way to the USSR. The most extreme use of the computer was to launch all the nuclear missiles automatically, without the go-ahead from the president, if the USSR attacked. As you can guess, the computer sometimes malfunctioned and tried to launch all the missiles by itself. Luckily, the missiles did not fire because of mechanical problems. All the computers used to control the missiles on the planet combined only had 5 megabytes of memory, which is the size of one song, and the processing power of a smartwatch. The end.